class in session today. Today we got a very common topic in the power scaling community. Is the Dragon Ball universe infinite or is it finite? Well, at first in this argument, we're going to address why the Dragon Ball universe is considered finite to some people who try to downscale the Dragon Ball cosmology. Most people who try to bring up this argument comes from Bulma's statement. Bulma's statement was clearly a knowledge claim.
A knowledge claim is simply a statement that is known to be true, but can also be false depending how you interpret it and how much of a word means. Literally, the same chapter, Bulma asks, how do you get to the center of the universe? And Jackal literally replies saying, you must be joking, there are countless galaxies. A lot of these statements that makes the Dragon Ball universe literally comes from Taijutsu 6, which came out right after Dragon Ball ended. It's a valid guidebook that Toriyama worked on with his staff and editors and his team, and usually we use it as source and evidence for a debate and tears when it comes to the Dragon Ball cosmology. This is widely accepted, and even in updated guidebooks is stated to have infinite galaxies in Taijutsu 4 if you want to look that up. But I'm showing all these statements, and it's telling you that the universe is infinite. Now, for the people who keep saying that the Dragon Ball universe has an edge are completely insane. First of all, Bulma's statement is literally talking about the observable universe. Since she couldn't even comprehend how big the universe is, let's really dig into the situation. I would understand if this statement came from someone like Whis, Zano, or even the Grand Priest himself. Even Shenron disagreed with this statement.
I can't.
You can't?
Space is so very vast. I'm afraid my powers are not so almighty that I can pinpoint one object floating in its boundless expanse, let alone locate it in an entirely different...
Imagine that, all-wishing magical dragon who knows everything in the universe when you wish for it can't even imagine to locate one object in a boundless universe, which is infinite by definition. So I don't know where we're going with these arguments in 2026. But let's deep dive into the neutral zone. The funny thing about the neutral zone, it was never confirmed to be the edge of the universe. Whenever they talk about the edge of the universe, Bulma's statement comes from planet Earth, when she said we're on the edge of the universe. And like I said before in the earliest beginning of the video, Bulma's statement is the knowledge of the observable universe. Bulma hasn't traveled the whole universe. She doesn't even know of other worlds. She doesn't know of higher beings, higher deities. She doesn't know everything about the universe. So for people that are writing her statement so hard, she literally has limited knowledge to the current universe that we all know about, which makes her statement false and mute. Now, moving on. I think the Dragon Ball cosmology is a lot bigger than most people realize. I'm going to bring up a point right here.
Where's your headquarters? Then I find some cruiser built for hyperspace or whatever. Once again, is the name Galactic...
People overlook this, but Bulma literally just mentioned a hyperspace. Now, what is a hyperspace? A hyperspace is meant to travel faster than light or to access to a higher dimensional space to cross vast cosmic distance. I would take this statement quite literally because the guys literally state that the neutral zone is outside space, meaning it's not in the same dimension as the living realm of existence. And it's really consistent with this because the only person that was able to travel to this is Whis. And we've seen Whis travel through dimensions. We've seen him travel to other worlds. Not only will this give Whis and Beerus and anyone who could travel with Whis higher dimensional existence, this will also grant Whis infinite speed, as he could travel an infinite distance in a finite amount of time, in a short amount of time. And for the people who thinks this is just meant for travel, no, it means literally to get to a higher dimensional space, because it makes no sense. Ships in Dragon Ball already move much faster than light, million times faster than light. Matter of fact, the ship that Piccolo used to get to Earth from Namek was fast enough to travel to Jupiter in a couple seconds. And that same ship took 30 days to get to Namek. And then we had another ship that Bulma built, which took 6 days to get to Namek. This would mean that these ships easily cross the Milky Way and dwarf galaxies in days. Now, why would Bulma need a ship that has a hyperspace when she already has ships that moves million times faster than light? It makes no sense. It's literally to cross dimensions to a higher dimension.
If you sticked around to the end of the video, I really appreciate you. But yo, it's your boy Dragon Ball Facts, over and out. And if you want me to do a full deep dive on the entire Dragon Ball cosmology,
comment cosmology down below, and I will get working on that as soon as possible.